Well, okay, we're here today. I wanted to talk a little bit about human stupidity, no, probably better phrased human ignorance, with all this virus stuff and all the stuff been happening. You're about to see an image come up, we'll post the image up there. It's going to say, cancel rent Cuomo. Now, that's just a little image that got hung up, obviously clearly in New York. Cuomo's the governor there. And it's asking for people to have their rent cancelled. Now that's a subject I happen to know a lot about, and you cannot cancel rent. Maybe weeks here and there, but rent just builds. More particularly, economic rent, and that's what I wanted to focus on for the next couple of minutes. It's called the law of economic rent, and it's probably something you know nothing about, and that's deliberate. Let me give you an example of laws and things. Now, here's a pen. We all know that if I drop this pen, it's going to fall this way. And if I was to say to you, this pen, if I dropped it, it's going to go upwards, you know, of course, it's completely wrong. You'd call me an idiot, and that's fair enough. That is called the law of gravity. We all know what the law of gravity is, but so few people understand what the law of rent is. Let me give you a very simple example. You've probably all seen a magazine called The Big Issue that's been sold around the world these days. That was started by a couple of UK guys. Great idea to put homeless people back to work. They decided to create a magazine that the homeless people could sell. They'd sell to passers-by on the street, they'd raise money, lift themselves out of poverty. That's the idea. But the street-smart big issue sellers, the homeless people, they soon began to realise, in fact very quickly, they understood that you could sell more copies of the big issue where more people were walking than if you tried to sell the big issue magazine on some street corner right out in the back blocks of town, or on a suburb somewhere else where there weren't many people. The big issue sellers, it first started in the US, in San Francisco, but the homeless people there worked out very quickly that you could sell, wherever you could sell more magazines, that's where the big issue sellers wanted to be. So they started to fight for access to those better locations. It involved street fights, gun fights, knives, whatever you could get your hands on to defend that location. The difference between what you could earn outside the city, perhaps on a street location where not so many people came, and the difference between what you could earn in a very good city centre location, that difference is economic rent. It's called the law of economic rent, and it works exactly the same way as gravity does. If you don't understand that law of economic rent, it's something you've just got to know about. There's a link coming up underneath where I think you can subscribe if you want to get, where I think you should subscribe if you want to get more information. It's a link to Property Sharemarket Economics, which is the company that I founded and run specifically to tell you the benefits of the law of economic rent, to describe everything for you so you can profit from that law. It's really important. Sign up now if you want to get more information. Thanks.